Now, most people think a $100,000 coaching program must contain some kind of secret, some incredible system, or hidden knowledge that actually justifies the price. But recently I sat down and I actually broke one apart piece by piece because I've been selling six-figure offers for a decade. What I found out was fascinating because the truth is the difference between a $2,000 program and a $100,000 program usually isn't what most people actually think. It's not just the information, it's not just the coaching, and it certainly isn't just the marketing of the actual program. There are actually a few structural things happening inside a high ticket offer that completely change the value. And once you see them, it's pretty hard to unsee them. But most people just don't know what it is. So in this video, I'm going to break down for you what a high ticket coaching offer is, how the $100,000 offer is structured, and what people are really paying for, and why some of these programs sell out while others completely flop in the marketplace. And if you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, or somebody building a high ticket offer, this might completely change the way that you actually run your business and you actually create your program. So I've been selling high ticket offers for the last over a decade. I've done nearly $50 million in sales, mostly as a result of high ticket offers. So I'm going to break it down right now in this video. And the first thing you need to know is when you're selling a high ticket offer, the first thing you need to introduce to the actual client is the container that it comes in. Because if I just get into my program or my service and say it's this, this, and this without saying, number one, this is a group coaching program. From a group standpoint, you're going to be in a group and you're going to get weekly calls on this training. And you're going to do that with my coaches. Secondly, you're going to actually be part of a year-long mastermind where we meet 3 times a year for 2 days at a time for a total of 6 days. And third, you're going to get some private coaching where you get 2 coaching sessions per month over the course of the next 12 months. Now, when you put together the leverage of number one, a mastermind where people can come together in person 3 times a year, that's value. Number 2, group coaching where they can show up every week and get help. And number 3, a private coaching offer where they get execution support. That container makes somebody go, wow, I'm really getting supported in this. Okay, now tell me what the actual offer is. Now, anything that you're ever going to sell online, if you don't have it in a 7-step blueprint, you're just going to say, if you're a financial advisor, I help people do financial planning. Or if you're a chiropractor, I help people get out of pain. Or if you're a health practitioner, I help people increase their vitality. And none of that works because you need a branded system and you need an actual name to your system. For example, some of my systems, the Message to Millions system, the Stage Empire formula, these are brands that I've built over the years. So people hear Money Game, Stage Empire, Message to Millions, and they're like, wow, what is this? I want to know what this formula is. Then you get into the steps. If you go more than 7 steps, you lose people. If you go less than 7 steps, the value isn't quite there. So you break it down into a 7-step blueprint like you're seeing here on the screen. Now, the first thing you do in step number 1 is you tell them what the step is. So just like the system, let's say Message to Millions or Stage Empire has a name for the entire system, step 1 also has a name. So if I was going to get into step 1 of Stage Empire, I might say step 1 of Stage Empire is the presentation formula. The problem is most people don't know how to create presentations that go one-to-many through webinars, podcasts, YouTube shows, and even in-person stages. And the solution is I have a one-to-many presentation formula that helps you close more deals with groups of 10, 50, 100 people. Now, notice what I just did. Each step, step 1 has a name, it has a problem that it solves, it has a solution that it offers up. If you do that with every step, then the customer is going to go, wow, I get it. Because it's not a spewing of information that you're actually doing to the client going, blah, 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 blah. You're going in sequence. Here's the name of my formula. Here's the name of step 1. Here's the problem that it solves. Here's the solution that it offers up. Now, a really key thing if you want to sell a 100K offer, because it's not that the value is not there. I trust that you're an expert and you know what you're doing. It's just the client doesn't internalize the value. So if I sit there and I tell the client, hey, this is so valuable, it's so amazing from my point of view, but I don't get them to internalize it with their point of view, guess what? They never buy because it's not familiar to them. My 7-step system I've been doing for decades now. The customer's just introduced to it in minutes. Do you really expect them to understand the offer? No. So at the end of, let's say, the presentation formula, if I say to the customer, hey, this presentation formula that would help you go one-to-many through YouTube shows and podcasts and webinars and stages. This presentation formula, how would this help you achieve your number 1 goal? Now, notice the question. how would this help you achieve your number one goal? I just say to the customer, would this help you achieve your number one goal? The customer's like, yeah. And they're not listening, particularly if you're on Zoom and if you're on a phone call and they're like, yeah. You can't tell if they're present or even listening, right? I mean, how many times have you maybe looked at your phone during this presentation right now? So virtually, you need to control the scene and go, how would this help you achieve your number one goal? And you have the client answer the question and you get to a real answer. A real answer wouldn't be like, it would help me get more clients. A real answer would be like, it would help me get more clients. I could live anywhere in the world. I could take my family on that vacation they want to go on. I could go buy that dream house. And then all of a sudden you get the excitement of the customer linking their goal to your system. They're never going to understand your system, right? Then they see the value because they value their goals. Their goals are priceless. So at the end, when you say the investment is $100,000, guess what? They're going to go, wow, I can really see how this is worth it because you went through step one that way. And step two, you do the same thing. So if step two, and by the way, if you want to click down below and you want to get a demo for how we actually create high ticket programs. In fact, we have a system called TEDOS. It is a system that basically answers 20 questions about your brand. And then we create your message, your story, your ideal client that has the ability to pay, and your offer, your high ticket offer. And then all of your marketing content, and with the push of a button, a funnel is actually built for you. It's done in under 60 minutes. So if you want to book a demo to see how it's done on your brand, not only will your high ticket coaching offer be created, but your entire marketing system would be built if you worked with us in TEDOS. Okay, so let's continue. So when you get to step two, remember step one was a presentation formula. Step two has a name. It solves a problem and it offers up a solution. So let's say step two, I go, step one is the presentation formula and step two is the story system. And I'll say to the customer, hey, so this is the story system. The problem is most people don't have a story that really communicates to the customer's pain points and brings them on a journey from struggle to breakthrough. And so they get online and they start telling these really irrelevant stories. They start telling stories that aren't very good. And by the way, I actually know this because, my director of my one-man play that I did on stages all across the world, he was the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera. So I know storytelling, Mr. Client, And so you have to solve the problem of taking the customer from struggle to breakthrough when they hear your story, as if they're living through the story. And then finally, the solution is you got to have a story that goes into your marketing. So you got to have a personal story. You got to have case stories about your customers. You got to have a loss story. You got to have a money story. You got to have objection handling stories. And then you filter those through your presentations. And then automatically you overcome the objections and you make more money. Customer's like, wow, right? And then you go through that and you say, how would this help you solve the biggest challenge that you're facing right now? And you wait for an answer. And now what the client is doing is they're linking this to your actual goal again, or to their actual challenge. So they're linking it to something that's meaningful to them versus selling the program and saying, no, this is really an incredible program. You should invest $100,000. When they don't internalize it, when they don't have a strong why of why it's important to them, when it's not linked to their goals, there's no way they're going to pay $100,000. Okay. So this allows you to be less of a salesperson and more of a coach to coach them to their actual goals and solving their challenges and for them to internalize it. By the time you get through step 3 and step 4, you're done asking those questions. And then you might say something like step 5, 6, and 7 is basically our marketing system where we show you how to take these presentations and market them to thousands and millions of people around the world. We'll get more into that as you go through the coaching program with us and you get into really phase 2. Phase 1 is everything I just shared with you, Mr. Customer. And a good thing to do in your offer, steps 1 through 7, is say phase 1 is this and phase 2 is this. So you break it down into havable phases. Now, when the customer is loving this, you then ask the question, how committed are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to actually accomplishing your goals? Oftentimes the customer is going to say, well, that depends on the price of the program. I'm an 8 or I'm a 7. And you would say, no, I'm talking about achieving your goals. I'm not talking about my program. I'm talking about how committed you are to achieving your goals and solving your challenges. Oh, I'm a 10. And you flush that out and you handle up any objections that they have. And then you continue on and then you transition into the offer. Thank you very much for sharing with me your number 1 goal, Mr. Customer. Thank you very much for telling me your challenge is this. And the plan and path I want to offer up to you right now is the Stage Formula system, or the Stage Empire system right now. And so I've already walked you through it. Now I want to tell you what the investment is. The investment, the value of this investment for a business owner like you is easily worth $250,000. So now what am I doing? I'm showing them the value. If you don't show the value of an offer and compare it to the price that you're selling at, the customer has no idea, right? A statistic has to be compared to something. So if I just say it's $100,000, they don't know if that's valuable or not. But if I say it's worth $250,000 to because this, and this that you said, right? But the investment today is not going to be $250,000. The investment today is going to be $100,000. Then I have the contrast. But this is not like, hey, the price is this. No, the value is this. The price is 250, and then we're going to drop it all the way down to 200, and then 100. No, that's not it. The value is this, Mr. Customer. And then the investment today for you is going to be this, and boom. And you do this, and all day long, you will crush it, and win the game. And this is going to allow you to see that your offer is super, super valuable, and that you could be charging more than what you're charging right now. Clearly, you want it to be fair for the customer, but you want it to be valuable in exchange for both of you. And you'll see that $100,000 offers can be sold. I've sold many, many, many of them from the stage in my lifetime, where I make the offer from the stage and people stand up and they take the offer. I've even sold $200,000 offers from the stage. So it does work if you have something really good to offer up in the marketplace. Okay. So click down below, book a demo call with my team if you want your offer created, your message created, your ideal client targeted with people who have the ability to pay, your story written, and all of your marketing content from your VSL to your email to your ads to your funnel page copy. And with the click of a button, you want your funnel built inside a CRM. You can go get a demo to see how this would work on your brand. I will see you on the other side. Hope this was useful to you, and like the channel, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, go book a demo. See you soon.